Hi everybody, how you doing? Okay, get ready to take a trip through your entire life to this moment with my first song. I'm sticking it in now, am I good? Am I safe to stick it in? Oh, that was good for me. Okay. So, this song is called Cherries. It's the longest song I'm going to play in the set. But I promise each and every one of you, if you do listen to the lyrics, you will take a trip through your entire life to this moment, except if you're like 30. Then you'll get lost after about 5 verses. But eventually, you'll learn about failed marriages. Thank you. To our loving mothers like little monkeys, and we crawl and we walk and we talk, and dad pushes us from behind, a bicycle screaming, pedal as fast as you can and don't stop. And then you put your tooth under the pillow in the morning and you get money from a fairy, and you're taught to believe in God, and life's just a great big bowl of cherries. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries, too innocent to notice all the pits. But what's to become, we don't know when we're young. And then you go to school and maybe get lucky enough to be the teacher's pet. But then you go to school and learn about rules and how kids are cruel, and you don't like homework. And then you have your first crush, and it's a rush, and maybe even your first kiss. And then you have your heart broken for the first time, and you bite on your first pill. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries. Just be careful of the pits so you don't break your tooth on the truth of what's to become. We don't know when we're young. We're still young. Then you have your first drink and cigarette and auto wreck and run away from home for at least 3 hours. Get a job or procrastinate the inevitable by going back to school. You get a loan cause you're in debt, you got bills stacked so high you can barely see. And then you make the discovery that money doesn't grow on cherry trees. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries, so you gotta pay for the fruit. So you eat what you can, cause you begin to know life's not gonna get any easier as we grow. We're still young. And then you fall in love and you think it will last forever. And if forever lasts just a few years, well, you know life's gonna be a hell of a ride. And maybe you'll find the right one who will do you no wrong, and you'll feel the words of love songs till you find out that he's been climbing up someone else's tree. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries till you find some are rotten. So you weed out the bad ones, eventually forgotten. And what's to become, we're not so sure as we mature. We're still young. And you have a kid or two or none, watch the news and view the insanity of war and religion. Then you may realize you were taught to believe in God just because the people before you and before them were taught the same thing. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries till you choke on a pit, but you get the friend to give you the Heimlich and lean on their shoulder and breathe in anticipation of what you get when you're older. When you're older, yeah. Then you're sitting in a hospital room with your family, watching a loved one die. And you think about your life, and your head spins at how fast time flies by. But then you turn around to the beautiful sound of a newborn baby's cry. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries, sometimes bittersweet, but you taste all you can and embrace all the love and avoid all the hate, and never hesitate to wear your heart out on a limb and laugh and be silly with my friends and sing at the top of my lungs my favorite Beatles songs. Oh, 'cause we never know when we're gonna go, we never know when we're gonna go, but what's to come will come no more when we're gone. When we're gone, when we're gone, we're still young, 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 we're still young. Okay, I gotta hurry, I got 8 minutes left. Anybody cry? Anybody cry? Okay, this next song, it's called Fins. Anybody go out with anybody just because they're really good looking and they have nothing else to really offer? I did. And I wrote the song about him because he grabbed me in a violent way once. Ladies, gentlemen, one time. They only get one chance and then you leave. Do not go back to them. This is called Fins. If I was wearing a blindfold, you'd be ugly. Those beautiful blue eyes would not distract the fact that you're an idiot. But then again, I must be the idiot for hanging out with you for so long. What the hell is wrong with me? Even a blind man could see we were not meant to be. Ooh, it's a mismatch. You are not a catch. Get off my hook with all your good looks and go back to your freezing cold sea and keep your fins off of me. And even though I already knew, I still continued making love to you. I'm shaking my head in disbelief for putting up with all of your grief. Just because you've got a pretty face, it's no longer enough to sustain the flow. Making it easy to finally go. It's a mismatch. You are not a catch. Get off my hook with all your good looks and go back to your freezing cold sea and keep your fins off of me. Keep them off of me. Swim away, swim away, swim away, swim away. Keep them off of me. Step back, Linda, and ask yourself how you continue to try and open a shell that had no pearl, it was empty. Yet you stood the stench, insisting there was treasure, just because you received a little pleasure, passing by and missing out on any real gem, living in a home that should have been condemned. Smarten up and see beyond the misrepresented shelter. Go out and have the balls to stand alone in a storm. Pretty soon the sky will clear and be warm enough to find the gem that shines. It may not have the perfect cut, but discovered to be priceless and sparkle more than those eyes of blue. I apologize to myself for wasting so much time with you, and I'm trying to forgive myself for actually tolerating someone to say you act like a rock star, but you're just a lounge singer. Well, right now this rock star is giving you the finger with her champagne taste and her beer budget. Well, you can take all your negativity and just shove it. Ooh, it's a mismatch. You are not a catch. Get off my hook with all your good looks and go back to your freezing cold sea and keep the sharks company and drown in your own negativity and absolutely positively keep your fins off of me. Bye bye, it's a mismatch. Swim away, swim away, swim away, swim away. Swim away, swim away, swim away, swim away. Swim away, swim away, swim away, swim away. Thank you. All righty. This one is for Tucson. I had just moved to Tucson. I'm going to talk wicked fast because I got to get this over. Okay, so I just moved to Tucson. I went to see a show. This lady was introducing the band, and she comes up and she says, "Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you don't take your beers outside, because if you do, you'll get arrested." I'm thinking, we'll say, wait a minute. You can carry a gun, but you can't carry a beer? And I wrote the song. I am tuned up a little bit. All right, screw it. Sorry. I need some yeehaws. Yeehaw! I was hanging out at the Cantina, listening to folk songs, enjoying my new home of Tucson, when I heard something wrong. A woman in a hippie-type shirt, she came up to the stage to make a general announcement. She said, "Make sure you don't take your beers outside. If you get caught, you'll be going for a police car ride." And I stood up and I said, "Wait a minute! You can carry a gun, but you can't carry your beer. You can set it on the ground and use it as a target, but you can't drink it there." Well, I met a handsome man at the Cantina. He said, "You're new, let me show you around town." And I noticed something below his belt buckle. I was flattered at what I thought I had found. When we walked out the door, I looked down and said, "Is that a beer in your pocket, or are you just glad to meet me?" He said, "Quiet down, woman. I'm sneaking out my Miller Lite." Oh, shucks, I think I'm not getting lucky tonight. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. You can carry a gun, but you can't carry a beer. You can set it on the ground and use it as a target, but you can't drink it there. Whoa, I'm in love with the Catalina Mountains and the quails and the Ocotillos too. There ain't nothing like a sunset out west, cracking my frosty brew. But you can carry a gun, but you can't carry a beer. You can set it on my head and use it as a target, but you can't drink it there. Well, the next time I go to that cantina, I won't assume what's below a man's belt, and I'll know if he's just overcompensated for the lack of the cards he's been dealt. If it turns out to be a Colt 45 instead of the malt liquor I seek, I'll go back to my seat and listen to the lovely folk music, 'cause you ain't the right man for me. Uno, dos, tres, four. You can carry a gun and live your life in fear, or you can go to the cantina and listen to folk music and sip on your nice cold beer.